welcome back to my channel. This is going to be part 2 of the advanced camp video. If you haven't already, go back and watch part 1 and then come back here for part 2. So let's get into part 2. So once you leave the barracks, like I said in the first video, you're going to be in the barracks for like 5 days when you first get there. So once you leave the barracks, you are going to be in the field for like 21 days. And the way it works is you are going to pack everything that you need in your ruck, and you're going to be living out of the things that you pack in your ruck. So everything else that you don't need, you don't leave it in the barracks because the next regiments are coming in and using those barracks. So you're going to pack everything else into like your duffel bag, and you're going to store it in like the Connex that they have for you. And then so when you're in the field, you're going to have everything you need for like 4 days. And then after those 4 days, they're going to bring you to the Connexes that you packed everything else at. And you will have, you can like swap out stuff like that you need. Or like if you overpacked your ruck and you want to take some stuff out, you can put it back in your duffel bag. Or like if you just need more stuff in your ruck, you can go back to that duffel bag and put it in your ruck.
Okay, so I totally forgot to talk about showers in my video, but you do get a shower every fourth day. So when you go to the area where they have your extra bags where you can change out your rucks that I was talking about, there are also going to be like portable showers there, and you can shower there, but just imagine like portable showers in the middle of the field. So you can determine like how nasty they were, but they are there for you to shower, and you'll bring your soap and stuff that you have in your extra bag that they bring to you. So that way you don't have to worry about like carrying around a towel and washcloths and soap and stuff. So you do get to shower, but it's only every 4 days.
But like I said, pack light because you are going to be rucking everywhere, like everywhere. You are going to be rucking everywhere. And you're going to be rucking with your weapon and all of that. But also in advanced camp, they give you machine guns because you have an actual weapons squad. So I think we got 2 machine guns as well. Or was it 4? 4 people had to swap out their M4s for the machine gun. So while you're rucking, you're going to be rucking with that big gun as well. So keep in mind that you want to pack a light ruck. In my platoon, they made everyone carry the machine gun. Like, they did not care if you were a girl, if you weren't in weapon squad. Like, everyone had to carry it at some point while we were rucking from one place to another. So just be mindful of that. You will ruck everywhere. Like, sometimes you'll have like designated rucks that are just rucks, but outside of that, like sometimes you'll do like a 4-mile ruck to the range, and then you'll do like a 8-mile ruck, I think. And we did, of course, the 12-mile ruck. That's another thing that you have to pass to graduate, is the 12-miler. And you, outside of those designated rucks though, we rucked everywhere. Like everywhere you could think of, you're gonna put your rucksack on and go. So just like I said, be mindful of how much you pack in there. Of course, with the 12-miler, you have to have it be 35 pounds because they do weigh it at the end of your ruck. So you're going to be going to the range. You're going to be just doing different classes that's outside. So like I said in the last video, when you do your TCCC, which is the tactical care class, that's going to be outside. Call for fire is going to be in a building, but you're still going to be like outside. Like, it's not like you go to the barracks to the class and then you go back to the barracks. Like, no, all of this stuff is going to be outside. The only thing that you do inside of the barracks, I think, was the written land nav test. We took the written land nav test, I think, like the first or second day we got there. And then, land nav, you're going to be outside. All of that stuff you're going to be outside for, sleeping outside. So when you do the range, you are gonna like ruck to the range and you're gonna sleep outside at the range. When you do land nav, you're gonna ruck to the land nav site, you're gonna sleep outside at the land nav site. To prepare for advanced camp, I would make sure that I am rucking. Your ROTC program should be requiring you guys to go on different rucks, but I don't know how it is now because of COVID. But do it on your own as well, because you will be rucking a lot of miles. You are going to come back so strong, sis. It's going to be crazy. Like, you're not going to believe how much you rucked when you were there. Like, and I hate rucking, so, it was just a lot. Also, you're going to have to do the FLRC, which is the Field Leadership Reaction Course. So they're going to break you up by squad, and each course is designed to make whatever the task is to complete that course impossible, but you have to use everyone in your squad and you have to come up with a way to complete this task. So let's say you're at an obstacle and you have to get a barrel across the obstacle course. They're going to designate certain things that are off limits. Like, they'll be like, you can't talk, or, you know, if you touch this spot, then you have to freeze for 10 seconds, but you have to complete this in like 10 minutes. It's going to be things like that that forces you to build that relationship with your squad to complete the mission, whatever that mission is. So that is what you'll do. That's going to be like one of your first evaluations, because everyone's going to get a chance to be the squad leader, because it's going to be like 10 different courses. And you'll get evaluated on that. And like I said, you want to make sure that you get the highly qualified or the proficient. Like I said, I didn't like my platoon at all, much less my squad. So, I mean, it was just, ugh. So still, that's why I'm saying, like in the first video, have that mindset that everyone is not going to be your friend. Like, people get petty in advanced camp. Like, I'm talking about petty. Like, it's really bad. They'll act one way around you, and then in your peer evaluation, they will be like dogging you out. Like, oh, she looked at me funny, so I recommend that she gets rated at the bottom of the list. Like, it gets petty in advanced camp. And that's one of the main reasons why I hated it, because, you know, you're already stressed out because you're in an environment where you are outside for 20 plus days. Like, you're hungry, you're eating MREs, all this, like, you're just getting fed MREs for days. Like, you're just irritated, and it's like meant to break you down. That's why I said you have to be mentally ready for advanced camp, more so than physically ready. And like, you feel like you're doing all of this, it's hot outside, you're getting rained on, like, it's so crazy how much you have to go through. And you could feel like you're doing so much this day, and people in your platoon will be like, oh, she didn't do anything, da 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 da. And that's what causes the arguments and the tension in the platoon. Like, it gets real in advanced camp. Like, it was days where I was like walking around carrying the machine gun during a ruck, and like, people in my squad would say that I wasn't doing anything. And I'm like, did you not just see me carrying this heavy machine gun for miles in this heat? And you're gonna say I didn't do anything? Like, y'all, it was a mess. I was pissed. Most of the time I was pissed. Like, it was bad. Most of the time I was pissed off because, like, I felt like everything I was doing, nobody noticed, but if someone else did it, it was like, oh my god, they know so much, and they did this, and they did that. Like, it was a mess. And they also, this is just me being honest, I came from an HBCU, and they treated the people, it all depends on your own experience before I say this, but like, they treated the people that came from the HBCUs like they really didn't know anything. Like I said, you're going to be mixed in a platoon with people from all of the universities all over the nation. So I came from an HBCU. I could be in a platoon with someone from the military academies, or like from the Citadel or something like that, like a prestigious military school. And like, I hate to say it, but some of them really like look down on you, like, oh, you don't even know what you're doing. because you went to that school. Like, you will get judged a lot in advanced camp, and it's people that's going to think they're better than you because they got a higher PT score, all of that. That's why I'm saying, like, make sure that your mindset is focused on just finishing, getting through it, and doing your very best, because people are gonna try you. Like, they're gonna try you, sis, and they want you to go off on them. Like, they want you to, so the cadre can see that and rank you low in the platoon because you'll have an attitude or something like that. Like, you just have to be very mindful of how you carry yourself, because you're gonna be annoyed a lot, but you can't just walk around with this attitude, because then you're gonna be labeled as the girl who's a bitch, and she just doesn't want to do nothing, doesn't want to be here, isn't a team player, isn't a good leader. And that could be the total opposite of you, because you're just irritated that somebody got smart with you for no reason. And that's how it goes in advanced camp. They will literally, like, people will press your buttons on purpose just so you can go off and look like a bad person when you're really not. Make sure that you guys keep that in mind when you're going through advanced camp, because it's gonna get rough. Like, those days in the field are really you're gonna see everyone's true colors. Every time you go to the field in general, like, you see people's true colors, but sleeping in the field, waking up in the field for 21 days was crazy. Like, it was crazy. Okay, so let's talk about the missions. So after you're done doing all of the required events and training, you're going to get straight into the missions. So the missions that you do in the field is going to be done like in a crawl, walk, run phase. So there's going to be cadre there that are going to show you how to, like, set up a defense area, or show you how to do battle drill 1. And they're showing you because they want you to execute it like this by yourself. So this is like the crawl stage. And then you're going to do that for like 4 days. You'll be going through different battle drills, and they'll be showing you, but it's still going to be leadership positions assigned, and you're still going to be getting graded for it. Then after each day in the field, then you're going to go to the run phase. No, then you're going to go to the walk phase, which is in a different area. They'll give you a scenario, and you'll have to do this mission, and it'll be like not less, it'll be a little more intense, because you won't have the cadre there that show you how to do it first. And then the run phase, you'll go to a whole nother area, and in the run phase, they're like giving you every type of scenario ever that you could think of, and you are going to be graded on how well you execute this. So my leadership position in the field was a platoon leader. I got the very last mission that we did, and it was like, you kind of don't want to get the very last mission, because everyone has that mindset now, like, oh, we don't care, we're not going to listen to you. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. So when you are assigned your leadership position, when you're assigned your leadership position in the field, you are responsible for executing the whole thing. Like, the cadre is going to give you the mission, and you have to draft the op order, you have to go through rehearsals, you have to make sure that everything is getting decimated out through the squads correctly. You have to plan where you guys are going to sleep at, like where you guys are going to do a recon at. Like, everything is under you. So if people in your platoon aren't listening, or they don't respect you enough to listen to you when it's your turn to have a leadership position in the field, it's going to get crazy, because you're going to be so frustrated that you're being graded on this. It's like a huge grade, and nobody's listening to you, and it sucks. So I had the last mission of the whole, like, our last mission of camp ever. It was mine, and I was kind of upset about it, because the last mission, nobody is going to listen to you, because everyone's just ready to go at this point. So I had the last mission, but I ended up doing well. I got a proficient rating, and everyone thought that I was going to get such a bad rating because nobody liked me really, and they thought that I couldn't do anything. They thought that I didn't know what I was doing. And one thing about it, when you're planning these missions and you're like writing out your op order and giving it, the cadre is going to be there listening to how you brief the op order to your squad leaders and all of that. And make sure that you're confident in everything. Because when it was my turn, I was confident in everything that I was saying, but some of the stuff that I was saying wasn't correct. But as long as you can explain why you did it that way to the cadre, you can still get a good grade because you were confident in how you were saying it, and your reasoning made sense to you. So that was my case. Also, it depends on what cadre you have, but for the most part, everything is going to be ran by you, and you need your platoon to listen to you and cooperate with you. So it's good to have like great relationships in your platoon. But like I said, people are like every man for themselves. They don't care unless it's their turn to be in a leadership position, and then they'll expect you to respect them and listen to them and don't give them a hard time about stuff. But when it's your turn, they do not care. So make sure that hopefully you don't get into a platoon with people like that, because it's so frustrating. But it's usually always like at least one or two people in your platoon that are like that. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. And you do have peer evaluations along with the cadre evaluations. Like I said earlier, your peers will like talk so bad about you and be the main one like smiling in your face. So when you have your end of camp counseling and they tell you what your peers rated you and what they thought of you, honey, the tension is high. Like, it's crazy. Like the whole vibe of the platoon just splits in half, because it's like, oh, so you thought this of me, da 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 da, and it's just like so crazy. It's like literally like high school drama. Like, oh, I don't like her because she said this, this, and this about me. I don't like him because he did this, 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 and this. It's crazy. So after you get done in the field, you're going to come back to the barracks, and it's probably going to be like about 5 days left of camp. You're going to go to branch day. Branch day is like, they have all these different tents set up, and it's the different branches that you can branch in the Army. So they'll have like a med service tent, the AG tent, military intelligence. All these different people will come from those different branches and talk to you about any questions you have when you're deciding on what your top choices are when you get back to school in the fall. And after branch day, you're pretty much just chilling until graduation rehearsal. Graduation rehearsal and family day are the day before graduation, and graduation is going to be your last day of camp. So graduation rehearsal is going to be in the morning, and then that afternoon is family day. You can go off the base with your family, or if your family doesn't come, you can still go off the base. I think you just have to sign out, or you can go with someone else's family. My family came, so I went off the base with them. They already knew to take me to a nice restaurant to get some food because I was starving. And after family day, you come back to the barracks and you pack all your stuff up, and then graduation is that next day. And I was super excited. I had all my stuff packed up. I was ready to go. Graduation is going to be on the field. And if it rains, it's going to be inside in the gym. So for us, it rained, and we had to go inside in the gym and do graduation. But it's really quick. It's like maybe 30-45 minutes. It's just all the companies being recognized. And if you received an award during advanced camp, if you got nominated for an award and you received it, then they call you out individually, and then it's like closing remarks, and boom, you are free to go. I was so happy. Like, we left, and I think we went shopping at the outlets until it was our flight back home. I was so happy that I finally got through advanced camp, because it was a lot, y'all. Like, your girl was stressed out. I was so done with advanced camp. And it's crazy because I went to basic camp before I went to advanced camp the summer before, And basic camp, like we had drill sergeants and everything yelling at us, and I would have rather went to basic camp than advanced camp. But that's just my experience. Like I said, everyone has a totally different experience, depending on when you went and who your cadre was and all of that. But I'm going to do a video about my experience at basic camp as well, because that was so funny. Like, I was so clueless. My drill sergeant was just looking at me like, are you serious? Like, that was his expression to me, like, most of the time. And he is actually the one who called me Boujee. So it stuck with me. And that's why my YouTube channel name is Boujee Soldier. So yeah, I'm going to do a video about that as well. That'll probably be my next Military Monday video. I hope this was really helpful. And if you guys still have questions that I didn't mention or hit on, and if you guys have questions that I didn't mention or hit on, comment down below right now. And if you guys are watching this and you're not subscribed yet, go click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.